What's going on, Profiteers? Hope all is well. Another episode of Combos with the CFP Mario Payne in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. What's beautiful? My Bitcoin holders. I told y'all last year when Bitcoin hit 20,000 after going down to 17, time to buy. It will recover. Now, I didn't think it was going to recover this quick, though. I was thinking 3 years, not 1 year, but it just hit an all-time high. Then it went back down to 63,000. So 69 back to 63, a 10% loss. Might be a good time for y'all to buy. But when it comes to politics, why Bitcoin, especially if we have a new administration, might be the play. But before we get started, as always, like, subscribe, share our channel as we continue to grow. Of course, I'm a certified financial planner in real life, but on these YouTube streets, I give comical information. Hopefully gets you guys through the day. Take my advice with a grain of salt. Meet with a professional. But let's talk about crypto and Bitcoin.
Let's get back to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, at least up against some of the historical Yahoo Finance data, may have just hit a new all-time high here. We're going to continue to track this as we move on throughout the rest of the day. Some investors looking ahead to the presidential elections, wondering if it'll be a tailwind or a headwind for the cryptocurrencies. We were joined by,
Now, again, it hit 69,000. Right now, as we're talking, it's actually at 63,000, so it did retrace itself. JP Morgan said that it might go back down to 49,000. Whew! Man, that's another drop. If it does, I think a great entry point. I don't know if it's going to get down to 49,000, but if it does, again, great entry point, as some people, like Kathy Wood, thinks Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000. Excuse me. Yeah, I said that right. 100,000, not 69,000, not 70, not 80, but 100,000 by first quarter of next year. Huh, that's some growth.
Anthony Scaramucci, Skybridge founder and managing partner, who offered his opinion on the matter. Take a listen. Specifically,
Mooch, you want to talk about the Trump administration? Not a Trump anymore, though. Anyways.
For Bitcoin, I think macro, yes. Because whether you like Mr. Biden or dislike him, he's for the rule of law and he's for the democratic processes of the United States.
Let's bring in Ben.
What does that mean exactly? Oh, I don't know what that means. So more regulation? Yes, of course. On the Democratic side, it's usually more regulation than on the Republican side. We know that.
Millen, who is the IDX Advisors Chief Investment Officer, to discuss more here. Ben, great to have you here with us.
Come on, do better, Yahoo.
You heard there from Scaramucci, who he believes is better for crypto. Who do you believe of the candidates is better for crypto, especially as we...
He did not say that Biden was better for crypto. If you want regulations, if you want less regulations, if you want more, let's do what we got to do to make this thing happen. The Republican side is usually better. I'm not getting into politics, though. I'm just saying.
Kind of stare down November after today.
Yeah, I think at the presidential level, honestly, it's going to matter a lot less than kind of the Super Tuesday primaries that we're seeing, play out at the state level. That's where crypto policy has really been, kind of the forefront of the battlefield. That said, I think it's, depending on who you ask, you'll get different answers. I think generally the crypto community probably sees a Trump administration being a little bit more laissez-faire, not necessarily, targeting crypto like, a lot of Democrats did in Congress. But on the flip side of that, you've got Biden with, the infrastructure bill, which put a lot of liquidity in the system, to the extent.
The infrastructure bill was great, but what really fueled the stock market was the CHIPS Act. Y'all seen the video? Y'all seen super microcomputers? Y'all seen AMD? Infrastructure was great for real estate play, but for chips, gamers, AI, and tech, the CHIPS Act is the reason, in my opinion, why AI and these chip companies have grown so quickly, because that's money from the government that will be spent. Now, when it comes to crypto, though, my profiteers, we know a 65, I'm not trying to be ageist, but a 65, 70, 80-year-old politician, they don't understand crypto. No. So they're making policies not knowing the use case, how it's going to work. I mean, you think about the internet. Internet had like 9 phases, right? We're like in phase 1.5 of what internet was. Not even dial-up. Dial-up was like phase 4 or 5. Like we're in the initial phases of crypto. 20, 30 years from now, crypto is going to be doing things that we wouldn't even think of. And the politicians, they don't understand that. Heck, I don't understand it all the way. And I do this for a living. So just take that with a grain of salt.
That, a Biden regime, continues to ramp up spending, that could obviously be favorable too. But I think if you ask, if you survey most of the crypto industry, they'll probably say that, a Trump administration would be a little bit more laissez-faire and, allow crypto to, flourish a little bit more easily.
Ben, I'm curious what you make of the crypto excitement that we're seeing play out right now. You have Bitcoin.
She came in guns a-blazing.
Just below 69,000. Is it different than what we've seen in past run-ups in Bitcoin? And if so, why?
Yeah, I mean, it is different for the very simple reason that now we've got ETFs. So this has been a
very important, right? We remember 2 years ago when Jamie Dimon came out and said, Bitcoin's a scam. They own over $1 billion with a B dollars of Bitcoin. Goldman Sachs owns $2.2 billion with a B of Bitcoin. Come on now. Now, the play, because of it running up from a supply-demand standpoint, Ethereum. If, and I think when, not if, but when, like this summer, that Ethereum ETF comes to play, you're going to see Ethereum shoot up like a shining star.
A long time coming, and this is something that groups like us have been talking about for a couple of years now. Is once you have the approval of these spot Bitcoin ETFs, now all of a sudden it becomes normal for a lot of investors out there, a lot of advisors. We're going to start seeing Bitcoin allocations pop up in all sorts of financial advisors model portfolios. As they make plans, now all of a sudden Bitcoin is the easy asset class for them to to put into these portfolios. We'll start seeing it pop up in 401k plans. And so this is important because this onboards a whole swath of an audience that otherwise, probably never would have really touched crypto.
That's very true. I've gotten so many questions the past probably 3 weeks since the Bitcoin ETF came out about Bitcoin never have. And I got questions, maybe once or twice a month, what about Bitcoin? But it seems like with that Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, for instance, GBTC, for instance, right? BITO, 3 that you can look at. I believe that people just feel more comfortable because now they can buy it. It's in a fund. They don't got to worry about a person stealing their money, a hot wallet, a cold wallet, an exchange like Coinbase, put on Robinhood or Webull. They just feel a lot more comfortable. Yes, you don't get the best pricing, and yes, it's fees associated with those ETFs, but we just feel better about it. We feel more secure. So that's another reason why Bitcoin is popping up.
If you go back to kind of the midterms a couple of years ago, it was still largely the domain of Coinbase, buyers and sellers on Coinbase. It was difficult to hold it in something like an IRA or a 401k plan. And now this is part of the mainstreaming of crypto. So yeah, this time is different. Now, that said, we can't just, throw caution to the winds as it relates to, the macro regime. I think a big part of the rally continuing is going to be a function like any other risk asset, like tech stocks, for example, is going to be a function of to what degree, the Fed can engineer a quote unquote soft landing.
Very key for the Fed. My baby TMF, subject for another day.
It's looking increasingly favorable, but there are some clouds on the horizon that plenty of others have talked about as it relates to things like the coming real estate the debt refinancing that could be a catalyst for a credit event, etc. So there's kind of
okay, we get it. Bitcoin here to stay, and we can look at the chart to see where it's gonna go to. Where is Bitcoin gonna go to, y'all? Yes, my profiteers, here is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin broke out, right? So once we got to the green as gold, moving and shaking over our EMA, oh, look at that. From there, up by 47%, and that happened literally not even a month ago. February 6th to now, a month ago, we broke out, and since then up by 46%. Now, we was up as high as 61%. So again, 61, 46, it has pulled back about 15%. So in my opinion, great buying opportunity. Now, it might go down some more, and more people are thinking it might go down to the 50s, maybe late 40s. I don't know. Think by the end of the year, though. You think about, again, the breakout, 47, right? We're going to get another 47% breakout on the upside. And I think by the end of the year, we're looking at, oh, Kathy Woods, close, 93,000. Man, Bitcoin's 93,000, another 47% from where it is today. Good googly moogly. It also means Ethereum probably going to go up by about 70 to 75% because Ethereum moves up a little bit more, moves down a little bit more, and if the Ethereum ETF gets approved by the summertime, we're going to see that grow. So for a kind of quicker growth over the next 12 or 18 months, Ethereum might be the place to go, but for stability, Bitcoin, the granddaddy of all coins. So hope that helps my profiteers. Anyways, what do y'all think? Y'all on Bitcoin? Y'all on Ethereum? Y'all on some of those altcoins? Comment below what y'all think. You think the Biden administration is going to slow Bitcoin down? You think the Trump administration is going to put gasolina, that a Yankee style, to Bitcoin and altcoins? We shall see. I know one thing, great time to be an investor. Get y'all some Bitcoin. Be diversified. Don't put everything in Bitcoin, but definitely you want to check it out. Comment below, though. We in Bitcoin and we stand away. Let's make some paper profits together, y'all. Peace.
And you just want to get paid. Tired of making the money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, Payneful profits to help you seek change. And you just want to get paid. Yeah, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Payneful profits to help you seek change. Yeah, cut the show and just listen. You want to feel empowered by making money decisions. Residual by the hours can get you a better living. Bitch at the check, you knowing it could be different. You know.